my dear Leos. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of May 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Taurus season, so happy birthday to all Taurus out there. And I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, so you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating and subscribing to my channel. I am super grateful for all of your appreciation. If you want to support my channel even more, you can click the ad attached to this video or watch the ad for 30 seconds or to the end of the ad, whichever comes first. That is the way YouTube channels get paid and you can continue watching content for free. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon and Rising sign. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. And for this reading, I will use the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan. And I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Leos, here we have death and the lovers. So it might be that you're going through a breakup or an end of a cycle when it comes to relationship. It might be a certain pattern that you have had in your relationships that you have repeated kind of endlessly. And now it might be that there's an end to this. So love in the future might come more freely or not attached with this burden from the past or this pattern from the past. It might also be that you're freeing yourself from certain ending relationships that no longer serves you. You might also stop longing for a certain particular person that you have been longing for over a period of time. And kind of be over and done with this. Death is not the end of the Tarot cycle, however, that's the 21, the World card. And here we see the lovers straight after. So this is Scorpio, this is Gemini. So it might be that something is ending and love is coming into your life. Some kind of cycle is ending and love is coming into your life. Okay. Sorry. So I remember my viewers doesn't like reversals, so I call the divine with love and light. Reversals are more accurate, but might also be more scary if you want good news kind of readings. So Nine of Pentacles together with the Death card. So it seems like something has been going on here when it comes to self-love and self-preservation, building a foundation for yourself. Might also show that this is the end of singlehood for Leos. Okay, so for those of you that's single, so I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we see a Knight of Pentacles together with the Nine of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles is Taurus energy. I think it shows your very thorough work with this building on your own foundation. With this Knight of Pentacles card, you might also build on your fortune or your fame or your house or your relationship, whatever is manifested in your life, or you want to manifest more of this. And it comes from your own creation. No one has really helped you with this except for the divine, of course, but it seems like it has been something that you have worked on very creatively for yourself. It might also be that the person that's going to take you out of singlehood is Taurus. Taurus might in some way be connected to you. Okay. You might also be working together, even if this is like working like a singularity, maybe owning your own business or working for yourself, or creating something that comes from you. So it might be your project, your idea or something, but you might be working together with Taurus. Okay, so I call the 6 elements. And here we have Nine of Wands together with Knight of Pentacles. So here we see a little bit more struggle Yes, the death card can be struggle too, but it's more of accepting what is gone and let it go. Also seeing your own patterns and, you know, stop doing those. Stop falling into the same pit hole or transforming in great ways. Death card can be also becoming a mother, or becoming an adult, or ending a career, starting a new career, like something old is ending, some old cycle, your old way of living. And up till here it looked very beautiful and very easy for you, but here with the Nine of Wands, I understand it's not that easy. It comes almost like you're forced to work very diligently on your material resources, on your house or something else. Maybe because of this transformation, I don't know exactly how it adds up, but it might be that you're preoccupying yourself from something that's still bothering you with the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands is challenges. Eventually they will make you stronger. But for right now, it seems like you are riding out in the woods, and with the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, kind of lonely, because 9 is the Hermit energy, but it's still like this strong, lonesome warrior, or the person that have built up their life from scratch. It's so it's very heroic in a way. Okay. So, yes, 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Leo viewers. So, I want my dear Leos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, my dear Leos, I hope you enjoy my new setting. I made a little bit spring setting. Easter is coming here around when I'm doing this reading, and May is also a very beautiful spring month, and it's super sunny today, so I put down the curtains and it's still this shadows. Okay, so I'm going to tune in for a few seconds to you and the energy of your reading. What's going on with you, Leo? So, okay, Leo, so the thing that we saw here in the beginning, it might be also, it doesn't have to be Leo we are talking about. It might be someone in your proximity that has been going through a great transformation. And is kind of still in this spiritual growth period, still being lost in the forest, still being like focusing on themselves and growth. But with the Lovers card, it kind of gives some hope for those of you that wants hope and you're waiting for someone. It seems like they are loyally working on themselves to eventually transform enough to be able to be with you. So that's also for some of you. But from what I'm sensing with Leo, it might be that you are moving on. So it might be that this very slow Knight of Pentacles energy is not able to keep up with you. Okay. So, my dear Leos, this is your future there. And this is your now there. And this is your past. And we have a 7 of Swords here. So 7 of Swords, it's a situation with people that's not upfront. They are not honest about what they feel, what they want, what their motives are, their intentions. So everything gets really difficult when you're dealing with people like this, or when you yourself behaving like this, because it's creating a lot of illusions. It's creating a lot of thoughts, like people are trying to figure things out because it doesn't make sense, because the person is lying or deceiving or manipulating. So you think you are going crazy, or that the other person is crazy. But with the Seven of Swords, it's a lot of deception, it's a lot of curtains, a lot of veils in front of your eyes, or a person have been trying to put them there, or you have been trying to put them on other people's eyes by maybe you don't want to be seen as you are. Maybe you are ashamed of yourself in some way and you don't want to expose yourself, so you're not admitting to when people say, oh, it seems like you're not really all right. Are you all right? Are you sure? And you say, yeah, I'm sure. But it's not true. So people feel like something is wrong with their intuition, but they can't seem to connect with you, or you can't seem to connect with them if they're not telling the truth. And that makes the situation very awkward, and it's a distance created amongst people, because if we can't be authentic, we can't have true intimacy or closeness or build on our relationship. It's intimacy opening up that builds on relationship, and we don't want to let the whole world know everything about us. So it's just a specific few that we are truly opening up to. So by not opening up to a person and not telling them the truth, you're showing them very clearly that you don't trust them, or you don't truly engage in them, or they are not so important. So when the person is lying to you, you might feel like you are not so particularly important, and that they are not valuing you enough or your relationship enough because of this lying. Okay, so that was in the past, and this is in the now, and we have a Two of Swords. So I wouldn't say lying anymore. It's more like a lack of communication or not telling anything at all. This is a more diplomatic energy. It's not like this more cunning Seven of Swords, bad intentions. I will fool you. I will trick you. I will manipulate you. This is more like, okay, so I respect what you have said, and I won't do that anymore. But it's still not intimacy. It's still like this great distance. It might be also that there's a silence going on, or you might have cut people out that are deceiving or manipulating, or in some way are not truthful. You can't ever speak truthful with them. They can't take responsibility for their action, or they can't see themselves. So it's like, I can't really deal with that relationship right now. Two of Swords. So Two of Swords is also a Libra, connected to Libra. We have Seven of Swords. It's I think Gemini. So it's a lot of air energy coming through. And here we have an Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups is when you're super tired of these kind of situations. And it's an 8, so it's not really a solution. You might be avoiding these people, but the emotion of it all isn't still not sorted out. So the foundation issue isn't sorted out, but with the Eight of Cups, you at least are taking consequences logically from this situation and kind of deserting your emotions. But I wish you wouldn't desert your emotions. Be true to your emotions, but you might need to desert the person, but you don't try to change how you feel. Acknowledge how you feel, because that is also Seven of Swords, when we try to lie to ourselves. No, I'm not in love anymore. No, I'm not feel broken-hearted about being... I'm thinking about being sacked from work, or feeling upset because your parents still after 40 or 50 years doesn't understand you. So, but acknowledge that you are disappointed. Acknowledge how you would like things to be, and then accept the reality. That's the most healthy thing. And then we come to the connection with the Eight of Pentacles. No, Eight of Cups to the Strength card. Become an adult, okay? Acknowledge how you feel. Also take the consequences for how these feelings hasn't been met. And, rise yourself out of this situation. Be an adult person. Don't be a victim. Don't feel like, if they would only change. Well, I can't see them changing here. Okay, Death card kind of indicate that there's still hope. But right here, right now, there's no change. So you need to deal with it. You need to find a way to deal with it. That doesn't mean giving up on yourself or cutting away soul parts, letting that whiny inner child that needs love be locked down in the basement. Try to not hurt yourself. Try to heal yourself instead. Become the grown-up that's taking care of every aspect of you. Okay. So, my dear Leos, this is your past. And I'm thinking this setting is kind of suiting to this beginning of this reading with the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands being kind of a little bit lost in the woods, but a very beautiful wood. I don't know if you can see, but it's nice. So it's a light here, so we will come through to the light eventually. And here we have the Hermit carrying his inner light. You can see this with very spiritual people. They kind of shine with their inner light. And why they have this inner light is because they have shined upon every bit and aspect of themselves inside of themselves. So this is very important for you, Leo, at this time. It might be that you're working together with someone else also simultaneously with these kind of things, learning to get to know ourselves and shine a light inside of us so that we become more aware. Awareness is the key. Becoming aware. How do you feel? What do you want? All these kind of things. What are your reaction right now? What kind of energy do you feel? How is your body feeling? So always being aware of yourself and not denying anything. Just roll out the red carpet and be curious about what is going on. Okay. And here we have the Chariot. So this is very not so very similar energies. The Hermit is very inwardly have the attention turned inwardly, while the Chariot is an energy that turned outwardly. So it might be that there have been a shift with you where you have turned from being very not very social. Okay, we can put it like that, and becoming more social, or planning to become more social. What I'm also feeling with this is that this is a more authentic road for you, because if you have figured out who you are, you also know where you want to go. And you're not longer putting aspects in the basement or making them a shadow. So therefore you have integrated this to yin and yang creature. So your Chariot is ready to move forward. It might also be that someone in general in your proximity has been coming out of hibernation and are with the Chariot, they are traveling somewhere. Okay, they're moving to something. And here we have the Seven of Cups. So sometimes we need to move to this. 7 Chariot, 7 Cups. It's about finding the primordial swamp. This is a deeper journey. So it might be an outward journey to actually go to the source of the hurt. For example, you might start to communicate with your parents about your childhood. This might be a person, you or someone else, that have had an addiction, and due to a certain program, they need to go travel the world and say that they're sorry. So kind of going to the core of the issue. The shame that you have felt, the hurt that you have felt, the trauma that you have been going through in the past, because 7 Chalices is kind of the trauma that you carry around with you, the shame that you carry around with you, the swamp where you always seems to end up, even how much you try, how much you work on yourself, how much you try to reach a higher altitude, you always end up in this swamp. And it's because things in this swamp are important. The wound is the entry to your awakening. The wound is the entry to God, okay? The wound is the entering to your wisdom. The wound is the entry to the moon landscape, where you will become wise because of the challenge that you are being faced with there. So this is not trying to hurt you, it's trying to enlighten you. So bad, heavy feelings, we don't like them, we want to run away from them. But here the person doesn't run away from them, they run straight to them. So super brave and also very wise move. Okay, yeah, strategic move to heal. And here we have a little Knave of Swords. So this is a truth teller. So it might be that someone in the past have approached you and start telling the truth about what they found out in the hermit stage. It might also be that you have become this kind of truth teller. You now see through illusions, through social manipulating situation where you, for example, are supposed to agree with people even when they are wrong. Or you're supposed to be nice even if someone is rude towards you. So many of us has these kind of social codes. So even if someone is rude, we try to ignore it and make excuses for that person. But with the Knave of Swords, that is not an option anymore, because this is like Jeanne d'Arc energy. Destroying the old and bringing in the new, the light of the new, or the thing that you always knew, just nobody listened to you. This is not an easy task, but someone got to do it, to bring in truth into your situation. So you are the bringer of truth to this situation. And you need to, be brave with this, because you didn't want to be like, imagine Jesus saying to God, I don't want to speak the truth. I want to be buddies with the Roman Empire. I know they are abusers. I know they are riding high on their power, suppressing other people. I know that they don't come from a point of love, that they come from a point of ownership and power and money. But they seem so powerful. And I don't want to hang on the cross, so I will keep my mouth shut. Is that all right with you? So, of course, it's not all right. But people like this usually pay a high price for the truth that they are telling. But they also change the world. Okay, you might not want to sacrifice yourself, but someone's got to, if we are going to make the world a better place. And here we have a Six of Swords, so that's more truth. I don't think there's an end to your truth, Leo. I think you now tell exactly how it is. I don't think you're rude with it, with the Two of Swords here. But you just tell it how it is, and it's up to the other person to kind of be able to digest it. So you make people see themselves a little bit, and you also see yourself very clearly. So for example, if someone makes excuses for them about something, you say, well, that was not really how I read the situation. I saw that you were actually afraid to move to where you had to go, so you lied to me about it. But it's fine. We can both see it now, and it didn't have those bad consequences that they could have had, and we still have an opportunity to solve things. So you're more, you don't have a dramatic reaction, and you're not codependent anymore. So you're not trying to save the other person from themselves. You're not trying to, help them cover up for their lies. You don't try to, put them into a lot of cotton and hope that their lies won't hurt them. You kind of face them with the truth as you see it. So you need to be aware it's the truth that you see. The other person might see truth, and they will start to say this to you as well, what they are seeing. And try to not take things personally. Try to listen to a person trying to tell their side of the story, and understand what they are coming from. You don't have to agree with them, but you can take a moment to try and understand them. If it's not possible, you continue with going with your own head and be stubborn until they actually explain themselves in such a fashion that you can understand them. If it's not logic, if it doesn't make any sense, if there's no reason to understand the person, you don't have to. But always look at the situation from an above perspective and keep yourself as close to the truth that you can be able to see today, because your awareness might be rising tomorrow and you might be able to see bigger truths or other truths. But the truth that you are able to see today, stick with it. And this will also be your ticket to evolving and be able to see grander and grander truth. Never hold on to something like a viewpoint. If you feel that it's not right, let things flow like this. Don't let it stagnate. 7 of Swords, 6 of Swords. So that's a more harmonious situation. So I think you, by being on your own here and really like galloping towards your wound, figuring it out, you are not much a better place, and people can't like kidnap you with social convention. And you are much more straightforward with what you are seeing, what you are thinking, and what you are feeling. There's not so much, you're not trying to make anyone like, please don't become angry with me. You don't care about that. They can be angry if they want, because you have become much more cool now when you kind of own your wound. You see it, so you're not scared that people will trigger it. You're not scared of conflict, for example. You're not scared of someone not agreeing with you, because you're now more comfortable with these emotions. You have kind of sit here on your chessboard above this swamp, the primordial swamp, and you're figuring it out bit by bit. So when it's not a shadow anymore, it's not scary anymore, and people can't scare you with this. Okay, so if you're not agreeing with me, we will have a fallout. If you're not agreeing with me, I will be angry with you. If you're not agreeing with me, I will become really upset. So you don't care, because you are now much more cool, because you own your own feelings. So no one can kidnap you and your viewpoints because you want to avoid to feel something. You can feel whatever as long as you are in tune with the truth. Yeah, and here we have the moon card I have been talking about. It's 18, and 1 + 8 is 9, connected to the Hermit here. It's also, this is major arcana moon, and this is kind of minor arcana moon. So the moon card is about becoming more and more in tune with the tides of your own emotions. So checking into them in the morning, at breakfast, in lunchtime, in supper time, in the evening time. You're always checking in on yourself. It's like Odin that sacrificed one eye to put in the wisdom well. So that is about a part of your attention should always be focused on the wisdom well, which is ruled by the moon, and that's your tides, your the water, the primordial swamp that holds all your wisdom, because all memories, all wisdom are stored in water. Okay, it's stored in water. All the things that you have learned, and the moon is ruling the water, being able to pick up on things before you even know that this is going to be on the agenda. So you might feel like, oh, I feel gruesome today, something is going to happen, and someone is visiting you on the evening. That's a little bit, an effort to deal with the situation with you and that person. So already in the morning you felt that something was up. And now you're starting to own this situation, and you're not scared of it anymore. You're almost starting to become a little bit a witchy kind of person, being so totally available to, or have this capacity to go into and really deep dive into your intuition. It might feel sometimes tedious. I think your life is not super happy at this moment. It's just about work, spiritual work, dealing with wounds. It's not particularly super happy. It's rather serious. So I think you need to do things that's not particularly serious. Be creative, dance out in nature underneath the moon maybe. Go skinny dipping, eat ice cream, whatever, to light up this heavy feeling of always dealing with the wound. Also check where you are tense in the body. Try to stay with those areas and relax them if possible. You don't have to change them. You can just feel first. Feel what it is that's stuck there. But eventually you want to move on. So it's mindfulness, seeing what's there, and meditation, rising the frequency of that particular part of your body. Underneath the Chariot, we have the Devil. So it might be a return of the devil in your life. And it means that the same old situation is going to rise. Hopefully with the Knave of Swords there, you will be much more equipped now to deal with this. You're not going to see the forces of the Roman Empire here and shaking your knees and say, oh God, I don't want to do my assignment, because you're much tougher now, and you are ready for whatever the consequences is. Why people want power in the first place is because they are scared of losing control. Why they are scared of losing control is because there are parts of life which they can't accept or they can't digest. So they wouldn't be able to be poor, for example, or be without work, or have to leave their house. They would die. They will become, dirt on the road. They have all their sense of happiness or sense of self is put into stuff around them, titles, worldly titles, houses, cars, like work titles, achievements, things like this. If you took this away, they would be nothing. So therefore these people are very much striving towards power, because they have a big shadow that they haven't been dealing with. So it's very super important for them to rule the world, or rule you, or try to intimidate you so that they can feel they have power over you. So it seems like, again, I'm getting the feeling that you might be dealing with someone else simultaneously, dealing with the same thing. Might be Taurus or Capricorn person, but Taurus and Capricorn, it kind of just shows that someone's working very hard with these issues. It's hard-working energy. We have Virgo here as well. Taurus was in the beginning with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, next card here is the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is cooperation. So it might be that the devil comes to you and wants to cooperate about, dealing with your issues, facing your wounds together. And it doesn't have to be in a nice fashion, like a person coming, okay, I want to solve this stuff with you. It can be, but it can also be people being right up, acting but ship crazy, like really crazy, okay? And that is how they invite you to deal with this together with them. So, but it's beautiful cooperation. It's like we do this again and again and again and again until we are able to solve this, we are able to fix it and come to the next level. It's another 8. We have the 8 of Cups. This is the 8 of Pentacles. Both are feminine elements of water and earth, showing the eternity cycle, okay? So there's a feminine energy into this. That's the feminine side of you or your counterpart is kind of not happy with the disharmony in the situation, but still don't want to give up on it. And it feels like maybe the masculine part of you is the one with the head in the sand and can't really deal with any kind of situation. So with the Hermit here, we learn to deal with any kind of situation. The Hermit through the eons have been giving poverty promises, like promises of chastity, poverty, silence, things like this, to make themselves able to put themselves in a situation which they really can't endure until they have mastered it and can endure it without going batship crazy. I don't know how you say this, but it's something that comes through from my guides here. And this can be a conscious, conscious thing that you do. You consciously go into this, you consciously face, like here, consciously face my wounds. But it might also be that you're dragged into it by karma again and again and again and again. So I think for one person in this equation one person is aware and is doing this deliberately. The other person is being dragged into it and might be seen as a devil character, a girlfriend from hell, or husband from hell, or co-worker from hell, something like that. So a person that really seems to have lost it, or are not in tune with reality and logic. They are only in tune with power, authority, intimidation, manipulation, and they become so upset with you if you are not following their rules. Their rules are a little bit like black magic. So if I press on this point here, I know you will obey me because you don't want us to have a fallout and I'm super powerful. And then you say, well, I don't care, so do whatever you want, and that person will go crazy. Okay. And here we have a King of Swords coming in underneath the Knave of Swords. So the King of Swords is a very high spiritual frequency, showing that a person is able to see themselves, see others, see the situation from an above perspective. So even if the person is going batshit crazy or going real crazy, they might be able to see their craziness in the moment that they go crazy. Also, you can see it because with the King of Swords, it feels like these energies are meeting up here. And it's again, moon, waters. So this is finally an air sign that's not scared of their emotion and thinking, oh, it should be logic, only logic. Well, logic is a good thing, but the emotions comes with a deeper knowledge that's not always logic. It might be talking about the future, and it's hard for the little human mind to see that as logic. For example, if we have marvelous trees in Sweden, if you have them on your yard, they are kind of protecting your house from misfortune and spirits and things like that. It calls ren. I don't know the name in English, but it has red berries on them. Like there's many red berries, and it's like wood like this, or they have necks, like long necks and red berries, and it's almost looking like flowers, so very beautiful. And these in the old folk lore, or the kind of saying among people of old, is that when the winter is going to become hard, these trees are going to be full with berries to feed the birds. My experience is that this is actually the case. You can also see similar things with how does the bird know that it's springtime in Sweden now? So they come even before I know that it's springtime. It's still snow, but the week after they have arrived, spring is coming. So how do they know? So they know by this. They are connected to the Earth's grid. It's like if you have seen the movie, I forgot it in that moment. I said it. Okay. It will come to me. But it's the movie with the blue people and the planet Pandora. They had this mystical grid where all the memories were stored. And here it's stored on Earth. It's stored in the water. Okay. And the water is ruled by the moon. So this is a true king. Okay. This is a true judge. Like not a cold judge that will only see, the laws of the situation. They actually have empathy as well. So it makes like a person that you might even get tears in your eyes for meeting that kind of powerful person that still have their empathy. So it's very beautiful with that King of Swords. Might be an Aquarius in your life. And here we have, it can be Gemini or Libra as well. And here we have a King of Wands. Okay, so this is you, Leo, and here you have the King of Swords. These are the masculine elements of air and fire, and it's kings. So it's showing a very masculine, grown-up energy. People being very grown up, maybe through going through this process and actually, you know, seeing themselves being crazy and dealing with the crazy. And here there's some kind of connection between these two. It might be two different parts of you, your logic part and your more passionate part. With the King of Wands, doesn't seem super engaged in this situation. So I think that it might be that someone on the outside is going to connect with you. You would never do that. We can see this with this person turning their back towards the situation. And I think that this is what I picked up on in the beginning, that there might be that you're waiting for a person to catch up with you. You went through this deliberately. They had to go through it maybe a little bit more hands-on with great challenges. The moon and the devil, it's like being trapped in a ghost house, or maybe in the house of your parents, or in some kind of situation that is like hell on earth. Okay, it's just that you didn't know it that it was hell on earth until you stepped out of it or started to see it. But when it repeats again and again and again and again in your face, it's in your face, you couldn't avoid seeing it, and therefore you became the King of Swords, being able to see things from an above perspective and making a clear judgment. Okay, this craziness, I can't live with this craziness here. So it might be that, I don't know, Two of Swords, it seems like still Two of Swords, because these people are not, you know, they are not really connecting with each other. Even if this, they were like this, this person is still looking down. So being still maybe in the hermit mood a little bit, like being in like introvert. And they have the lion there connecting to the strength card. That's also Eight of Pentacles is connected to. So something has gone on, you know, again and again and again and again and again. But it seems like it has come to some kind of level where people are actually, I think of the Chariot, like they are actually in balance finally, these two. Okay, inside of you, you might have had two sides of your masculinity, one that was super logic and the other one was more passionate. And now you have, you're about to integrate them. With the Two of Swords here, I think there's still like this little bit gap between these two characters. Okay. So this is your future, and in the future we have Justice. So Justice is Libra. Here we have Virgo, Cancer, Libra, this Capricorn, and yeah, Aquarius, Leo, a lot of different energies here. Justice is something has come to a balance point. We can see this with the Chariot and also felt it with the two Kings. The Two of Swords is also Libra, talking about balances. You can see the scales here. So I think you are at the door, and the door means that there's a possibility right now to solve this karma. Everyone needs to be super aware, super awake. Don't go into the old patterns. See the old patterns, feel the old patterns, but don't rush into it. Deal with it heroically. For example, if you feel jealousy arising, you stay with the jealousy as long as it's necessary, and you come out with a conclusion out of that. Either it will be you tell to the person that you're jealous about that I can't seem to trust you and I don't have a solution for that, and we need to talk about it. And maybe you find a solution. Maybe the person needs to prove a little bit that they can be trusted, and you need to prove that you can be able to trust other people, because both people might have issues. That is kind of meeting here and creating this chaos. So if both people are taking responsibility for their part of the pattern, and they are doing it as companions and friends instead of rivals and people striving for power, having each other's backs while doing this, seeing that the other person makes efforts too, which I felt very much with the Knight of Pentacles in the beginning and Nine of Wands. that the person is you or this other person is really working very hard with these issues, okay, putting a lot of loyalty into trying to be done with this and, you know, be ready for some kind of new chapter, what we saw with Death and the Lovers here. So justice might mean that in some cases you will have to go to court because someone have, you know, threatened to go to court if you didn't agree with what they said. So you say, okay, fine, we go to court because you're stubborn and because you trust yourself and because you have these great judgment skills now. So you just say, okay, I'm not going to be scared into the moon here just because you say this. I will be glad to sort this out in court. It might also be that there might come a deep-rooted apology out of this. Someone has seen themselves and wants to apologize. Either you want to apologize or someone else wants to apologize to you. Either or, there's a big chance that you will be able to walk through this door and solve an old pattern. Yeah, okay. Ten of Swords, so the Chariot and the Devil. It seems like some heavy, brutal energy wants to come into your life. Okay, this is the energy you have known and feared for your whole life. Okay, someone not understanding you, not apologizing to you, not seeing your point of view, just wants to you know, manipulate you or control you, or can't ever understand who you are or don't even know you. So this, again, with the Ten of Swords, it's like a gateway, like the Justice here, to put down your old survival skills and deal with the situation in a totally new way. Okay, in a new way, in a more adult way, in a more aware way, awakened way, and, you know, with a good judgment. So instead of doing the thing you always do, either that is being suspicious or running away or, you know, trying to pet the person the right way to make them calm again. Whatever it is, if you're codependent, if you're dramatic, overreactive, if you don't have any reactions at all, you have an avoidant behavior, try something new. Okay, with the Ten of Swords, it's time to try something new. But here, I think an old difficult energy will return to your life, but it's a karma, it needs to be dealt with. So better to do it now than to save it for later. Okay, and here we have a Five of Pentacles. So this energy have made you feel very much left out in the cold, very much undignified, very much like you didn't matter. It might have been, it can be your own thoughts about poverty or not having enough or not being loved or not being worthy or whatever it is. So you also need to look at your own assumptions, because your own assumptions is creating your reality. And if you think that all your love relationship is going to go to hell, they will go to hell. If you think that no person can appreciate what you are doing creatively, well, no person will appreciate what you do creatively. If you think that a person will be unfaithful, they most likely will be unfaithful. Because why not? Okay, if you are already super jealous and they already get the blame for being unfaithful, they can as well go and become unfaithful because they already get smacked up for it. So these are the kind of things we need to see here. And I think this is a situation where there needs to become like some kind of turning point. Maybe there's energy from the past, boyfriend or girlfriend from hell, making their way into your life here. Five of Pentacles, they make you feel crappy. Okay, so that's the situation. And here we have the High Priestess, and she comes underneath the Knave of Swords and the King of Swords. So in this situation, you need to be, you know, you can't fall asleep. You need to stay awake. You stay awake. You stay awake. You don't go into reactive patterns. You take a moment. take a moment before you answer. Take an hour before you answer that text. Really, you know, figure it out. Go into your reaction. Stay with your reaction. Let it calm down. Then respond. Because sometimes we have these kind of patterns where we react very... we don't react in the same way to every person. If your boyfriend tells you that he is going out of town on a concert, you might not care. Okay, you say, okay, have fun, bye-bye. But then your best friend says they are going out of town for a concert and they haven't asked you to tag along with them. And you might be, you know, this might be like something unforgivable that you won't forget for your whole life. Okay, forever and ever you will remember that they went to this concert without you, without even asking if you wanted to tag along, and you will make a big trauma out of it, a big wound. I don't say that you can't acknowledge when you feel unjustly treated. Just acknowledge that you feel unjustly treated different with different people. And what is that all about? Okay, so try to figure it out. Try to see what is going on and understand yourself fully. Back yourself up. Don't be hard on yourself. The High Priestess, she has an absolute knowledge. You can't really trick her into, you know, thinking that a rabbit should be red or something like that. She knows how things should be. So if people will try to fool her, she will just look at them and like, no, explain better, okay, if you want to come into my castle. Because these two ladies here, they are watching the castle door. So they are not going to let in whomever, particularly not someone that is a backstabbing person that doesn't really value you. So some of you Leos will have a pattern of maybe becoming friends or falling in love with people that is not particularly appreciative of you. So you want to be treated like dirt, basically. And here you are acknowledging it. Okay, so this person is treating me like dirt. Is this fun for me? Is it really? Is this really something that it was so much worth waiting for? Or so much worth putting in all this effort for, so I could become disappointed again and be, you know, left out in the cold again. For some of you Leos, you have been the one left people out in the cold, because we have, as I said, justice here, 11, 1 + 1, 2. So these two ladies, it might be that it's impossible to come close to you because you have, your walls are so high. So you might need to start to try to socialize, even if you're not good at it. You can start, if you have problem with this, if you have problem with trust, for example, just trust and know that you will be able to take the consequences if the person is backstabbing you. You will be like, okay, so it's not personal. They did it because they are like, woohoo. So I don't really engage myself in this drama. So you go back to the hermit energy and you ground yourself. So what can they do to you that will possibly be harmful? You have an eternal soul, yes, in a very fragile body. But if you can have this thought in your mind that you can accept whatever happens, that will make you so much less reactive and so much more wise. Also being able to see this situation very clearly and take a very good decision. Last card is the King of Chalices. So this is Scorpio energy again. It might be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer in your life. I think you're healed. Okay, Leo. Through all of this, you healed. You become a holy person. You're healed. So wherever you go, there you are, and you're fine. So you can be stripped away of all your money. You can be stripped away of all your relationships, all your properties, your car, your work, everything, and you will still be happy. So I hear the song, don't worry, be happy. Okay. And what I'm seeing also is someone opening their heart chakra, and it might go through this acceptance. If I don't have to be suspicious anymore, my heart chakra can open. It might also be that there's a person here opening their heart chakra but it needs to go through this gateway. And the gateway is like, I won't take any more crap. I won't fill these people with my energy if they are not able to, you know, make something good out of it. If they are just going to stomp on it, or, you know, make a drama out of it, or backstab me or whatever, I'm not going to fill them with energy. So these two ladies are super important for this King of Chalices to happen. Oh, I just figure out I'm a little bit bored with my oracle cards, and actually probably should have opened some new before I did this, but I will think of that for the next month if I'm not forgetting it. Okay, so for my dear Leos, view. There was a lot of cards. I put them a little bit aside. We have these. Positive intention and inner calling. So you'll hear an inner calling because there's something very important going to knock on your door, like a very important situation. Probably won't be a pleasant situation, but a very important situation. And you need to be having positive intention in that situation, even if it's, you know, not going to pan out well. You are going to make it pan out well because of your how you see the situation and see yourself, and how you see that you can cope with whatever happens, and you're not attached to any different outcome. You trust in yourself. You have your base inside yourself. You have healed your inner space. So you don't have to have a certain outcome. You can just be the judging energy here of this, like Lilith and Mother Justitia. It's maybe I have lost this. Is it Liberty? Okay, Statue of Liberty, sorry. Okay, so watchers. So be this watcher and judge, you know, without thinking about the consequences. So be in your, I don't mean be judgmental, I mean judge. Use your common sense and your inner values to judge a situation. Is this really how I want to be treated? Is this a person coming to me showing love? No. Okay. So then you deal with it, and you take whatever consequence comes out of this. Act truthfully. Okay. Truth. So everything that happens to you and everything that comes to you in life is the result of an intention, a seed planted at some point in the past that is coming into fruition. Be conscious of the seeds you are planting today. I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles for my inner eye. With your thoughts, energy, and actions to ensure that your dreams and desires can become reality tomorrow. Remember, we reap what we sow. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a very suspicious energy. It says, okay, I've been through hell. I'm not going to be through hell anymore. I'm going to stand here and guard my gateway. I'm going to kick everyone out. So you don't have to kick everyone out. Have positive intention, but judge the people that wants to come into your castle. So, yes, I am aware of all that I create around me. I abundantly fill my life with light and love. From all the seeds of light I sow, I will harvest the greatest riches. Beautiful. Okay. So, put it there. And then we have inner calling. Okay, so we have two songs for you because I hear melody too when I said inner calling. So we have Don't Worry and So Lately, Been Wondering. I don't know the song just now, but it's something with calling. Okay. Yes, inner calling. You can choose to see your biggest challenge as your best opportunities for inner change and growth. The trials and ordeals we experience in life are actually necessary for our soul's evolution. Take a moment to reflect back on past difficulties and identify how those experiences have made you stronger and wiser. Now turn your attention to the present and remind yourself to take the drama out of your challenges and try to see how they are serving you. And I'm thinking the best way this drama will serve you is if you can be very, as I said, awake, okay, and healed. Don't take things personally. Don't engage in drama. Just be like truth, the manifestation of truth. I choose to see challenges as ideal opportunities to work on my inner self. I look for the blessings in all situations, past and present. I am connected to the positive aspect of my experience. So it seems like there will be a challenging situation, but you will kind of do something real good with it. And I think this is what will come with the King of Chalices. I won't read this, but it's the eternal light of love and blessing. So this will be your doorway through out to happiness. If you can, do this challenge and make it through with flying colors and kind of not engage in the drama, stay positive, stay centered, stay grounded, stay in self-love and also self-dignity, because it's going to be needed. She's very dignified. This is someone who wants to drag you down and dirty you up, maybe because they have a crappy self-esteem. If they have a crappy self-esteem, they want to take power, they want to hold power, they want to own, they want to destroy, they want to manipulate, because they don't feel safe. So you feel safe here. Continue to feel safe. Feel self-respect, even if this person is trying to dirty you up. Okay. So yes. And here we have, if you are involved with another significant person, what do they feel about you or think? Give yourself much more credit. Oh, stranger than strange. Preponderance to ponder. Those in great relationship aren't always those who are good at relationships, and those in challenging relationships aren't always those who are bad at relationships. Oh, see, wow, even though I used preponderance ineptly, this one is really good. Please ponder the universe. So it might be that your devil girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, co-worker, mother, father, relative, friend, whatever, has a great many relationships and are super social and always, in the center of attention, and still not being good at love. Maybe they just, take control of a lot of people. And if you stay true like this, I think there will be a little bit hard for you to create multiple relationships, because people are they are just not ready for this kind of truth. But it seems to be your road, Leo, so you can't, go back and no, I want to go back into this situation where we manipulate each other and we take power over each other to feel safe. Okay, so there's always someone sitting on their high horse and kind of crapping down on us, the others. So that's one thing I'm seeing. And I'm also asking about what they felt about you or what they think about you. And I think that they think that you are actually great at relationships, okay? And I think my feeling is that they want to be close to you because of this. They can choose all these other friends, but these are not really true friendships. There's only a few where you can have a true friendship with, okay? And it's also saying, of course, that someone gets like a shrimp sandwich, which they skateboard through their life with. So they just get easy things, not so challenged, because they are young souls. They don't have to grow so much. They are not so challenged. And other people can be really challenged. You can even be put into a very dark place to be, the light shining through there. And it might be that your partner is that kind of person, or they see you as that kind of person that's put into a very dark situation, even though to no fault of your own. It's more to your credit, because you have this light to share. So I'm asking about your feelings or thoughts about your significant other. And those you love you. So you might have been doubting. To be beautiful in the eyes of another, simply forget they're watching. Tally-ho, the universe. So I think you need to stop thinking about what other people, if they want you or need you, or want to be friends with you or don't want to be friends with you. Think about what you want. Like, see it from your point of view. I want this. So stop caring so much about things you can't really control. You can't figure out if another person truly wants you or not. You can only feel in your heart if you want them or not. Okay. So, my dear Leos, see what a beautiful spring picture this is. Okay, so I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care. And I also want to welcome you back to my June reading, Time Flies, that I will do in the middle of May. So until then, take really good care. Bye-bye.